Welcome to Shabbos Shoutout. Never underestimate the importance or the power of self-esteem. This fundamental principle of believing in yourself is beautifully illustrated by the following story. One day, Annette, who is the administrator of an Israeli halfway house, received a call from a family whose elderly mother had died and left behind an apartment filled with old furniture. The family wished to donate the furniture to the halfway house. Annette called Avi, a former halfway house resident, to see whether he could find a way to move the furniture. Avi said, "Absolutely, I'll get a truck and I'll make sure it's taken care of." 2 days later, Avi called to tell Annette that he was at the apartment with a truck, but that the furniture was beat up and old and wasn't really fitting for a donation. Annette told him that she wanted to take it anyway, not to refuse the donation, so he should bring the furniture back to the halfway house. Avi loaded the truck, and at the halfway house, as he began dragging up the stairs an old beaten-up sofa, an envelope containing 5,000 shekel, about $1,800, fell from underneath a cushion. In the past, Avi had broken into homes and stolen purses for as little as 10 shekel. Here he had 5,000 shekel, of whose existence no one knew. The rule of finders keepers certainly could have applied, and Avi could have pocketed the money with no one knowing about it. But Avi called the family from where the furniture came and reported his find. The family thanked him and suggested that he donate the money to the halfway house. Who was this Avi and what transformed him? A number of years before, Rabbi Dr. Abraham Tursky, Zichrono Tzadik Livracha, had begun a project in Israel to rehabilitate ex-convicts who had run afoul of the law because of their drug habits. In meeting with the first group, Rabbi Tursky tried to point out to the people who were there that someone who has a healthy sense of self-worth is unlikely to do things that would cause them harm. Just like a person who has a new car would make sure to avoid it getting scratched or otherwise damaged. At this point, one of the clients interrupted, saying, "Rabbi, you expect me to have a sense of self-worth? I'm 34, I've spent 16 of my years in prison, and I've been convicted 8 times. When I get out of jail, no one wants to hire me because of my prison record, and I can't get a job to support myself. Further," this gentleman continued, "when my family's informed that I'm about to be released from prison, they become upset. I'm a burden and an embarrassment to them. I'm sure they'd rather see me dead. So, Rabbi, how could I possibly have a sense of self-worth when everyone else considers me like excess baggage and worthless that they'd like to get rid of?" Upon hearing the young man's words of desperation that ringed true, Rabbi Tursky was taken aback, but he responded in the following way. "Avi, have you ever seen a display in a jeweler's window? There are dazzling diamonds worth many thousands of dollars. Do you know what those diamonds first looked like when they came from the mine? They look like dirty, ugly pieces of glass. Anyone who would judge them by their appearance then would throw them away. However, a maven, an expert, would pick up these worthless rocks and say, 'Wow, I bet there's $1 million gem inside this.' Now, an onlooker might say, 'Throw that piece of junk away and wash your hands off from the dirt.' But the maven, the expert, says, 'Not so fast. Let's wait and see.' He would then send the dirty rock to a processing plant, and eventually it would yield a brilliant, dazzling diamond of 15 carats, which would blind a person with its brilliance. Of course," Rabbi Tursky continued, "there's no way someone can put beauty into the rock, but what the processing plant did was cut away the layers of dirt that exposed its inner beauty. It only exposed the beauty that was inside." "So," Rabbi Tursky said, "Avi, You're telling me that you're worthless? I am a maven. I'm an expert, and I can see the precious diamond that's within you. If you stay with us, we'll help you uncover it. Avi remained in treatment for 3 months and then went to a halfway house and got a job and began to live independently. Rabbi Twersky, having heard about the incident with the returned money, subsequently met Avi and said, "Didn't I tell you that there was a beautiful diamond inside you? How many people otherwise, Avi, would have kept that money and pocketed it and never said a word about it?" The postscript to the story is that on a subsequent trip to Israel, Annette showed Rabbi Twersky a plaque that Avi had made to put on the door of the halfway house. And the plaque said, "Diamond Processing Center." The lesson from this story of Avi is clear. There's no person who should be scorned. Everyone should be treated with dignity and respect, because everyone's a diamond. You just have to be a maven, an expert to be able to see it. Good Shabbos.